This is your sign to reread your favorite book because I am having a blast. The vibes are high. Hi, I'm Alex, this is Pucksandpaperbacks, and in this video I'm reading some of my favorite books for the week of my birthday. Yes, my birthday is coming up, and so I thought that I would just do a chill reading vlog where I reread some of my favorite books. Since May is my birth month, as well as the birth of my channel, May 6th is my booktube birthday. For the whole month of May, I've been hosting a readathon over on Patreon for free and paid members, where we read some of my favorite books, so that is also what this video is for. If you want to participate, there's still time and there's links down below. I'm having so much fun so far, so without further ado, let's get into the video. I have an ambitious TBR, so let's just get into it. Starting with the Check Please series. This is my favorite graphic novel series, and I'm doing a spoiler reading vlog for my top patrons. My top patrons get a vlog every month. Usually it's a spoiler reading vlog, so I'm gonna document all of my spoiler thoughts while I read Check Please. Of course, I'm taking the opportunity to reread my favorite nonfiction, Escape for Your Life. This is a part of the Pocket Change Collective by Penguin Teen, and it is about a trans-masked, non-binary pro skater. It's my favorite, and I cannot wait to reread it. Next, I'm hoping to get in a reread of Icebreaker. I'm just gonna read it physically because on audio, I have The Beauty That Remains by Ashley Woodfolk. This is one of my all-time favorite YA contemporaries, and I have the audiobook through Libro FM. When I first read it, I read it physically, so I'm excited to listen to the audiobook and see how that goes. Today is my actual birthday. Happy birthday to me, even though the hockey game last night was very disappointing. One of my favorite players was traded to the Toronto Maple Leafs, and so I've been rooting him on, and my boy gave it his all, and I'm not even gonna get into it, but I'm upset. I'm really sad for that player, and also I just thought that we were going to have a different outcome, but honestly with that team I probably should have expected this to happen. But let's talk about what I've read. I've read 2 books so far, so let's talk about it. Starting with Check Please Volume 1, and I had a wonderful time. I'm actually going to save Check Please Volume 2 for Sunday because I'm hosting reading sprints on Patreon on Sunday the 25th to close out the readathon, so I figured it would make more sense to be reading this on stream. Then I read Escape for Your Life by Leo Baker, one of my all-time favorite nonfiction, and I'm so happy because I read the arc of this through NetGalley when it came out in 2021. I had so much fun rereading this, especially because I haven't read it physically. When I first read it, it was through NetGalley and it was a digital arc. And then I pre-ordered myself a copy and the publisher kindly sent me a copy. So now I have 2 copies of this. But like I said, I've never been able to read it physically. Since I read the arc, I never picked it up again. And so I'm really glad I had this opportunity to finally reread it because I could annotate it. As you can see, I highlighted a lot. This is a short nonfiction in the Pocket Change Collective series by Penguin Teen, and this book highlights Leo Baker, a professional skater. They are non-binary, trans-masc, and talk a lot about how sexist and misogynistic the skating industry can be, and how he had to comply to the women's rules, especially that when he got sponsored, they wanted him to present more as a girl, even though he wanted to wear more masculine clothes. I think this is such a great book, and I want everybody to read it. That's why I talk about it all the time. It is genuinely one of my favorite books, and that's because when I was a kid, I hung around skaters. I never learned how to skateboard, which I don't understand why, but I'm a very anxious person and was an anxious kid, so that's probably why. But I grew up around skate culture, watching Scarred on MTV and a lot of the skateboarding shows that they would show. So this book just means a lot to me because I am also a trans-masc person. I'm a trans man. This book evokes a lot of nostalgia for me, but I just love it because it's the perspective of a trans-masc person in the skate industry and how he talks about a lot of the statistics and things that happened to him. I just love this so much, and if you haven't picked it up already, I highly recommend it, especially if you're looking to read something short and sweet for Pride. And now my current read is my all-time favorite book, Icebreaker by Graziadei. I have talked about this numerous times. I don't know if I have to pitch it to you, but in case you're new here and you've never seen my channel before, or you just subscribed yesterday, this is my favorite book. It is Icebreaker by Graziadei. It is a YA college setting. Rivals to lovers romance between Jason and Mickey, who are both projected to be the top 2 draft picks in the NHL. Mickey is from a lineage of hockey men, and he feels a lot of pressure to live up to that. So everybody's like, oh, he's a nepo baby, he's definitely gonna get it. But the thing is, Mickey was forced into hockey. Yeah, he likes it, but does he really? And then we have Jason, who is black, and he talks about how he has had to fight for everything to get himself here. So the whole book is 2 boys who are projected to be the top 2 overall picks in the NHL draft, fighting against each other. Literally, the first scene of them meeting each other on the ice, Jason is just checking him so much to where their captain has to come over and be like, please stop. Like, guys, your teammates, stop it. This is my favorite Rivals to Lovers book ever. It is so queer. We have some polyamory and a lot of bisexuality. Mickey is bi as well as Jason, and I have not reread this since I read it for a vlog, so I'll link it down below, and I am just having a wonderful time. It's also probably going to help me grieve from some of the playoff hockey that I had to experience. My team is not in it. I'm a Flyers fan. I don't know when we're ever gonna be in it. I'm not gonna get into it, but anyway, those are my reading updates. But yes, today, May 19th, is my 31st birthday. I'm not doing too much today. I'm gonna go get my favorite dinner and then probably read, and that is enough for me. Also, I've been playing The Sims a lot lately, so I might do that as well. But before that, I have to get some freelance work done as well as some content work. But I got my favorite breakfast, and I am just happy to have a chill day. I talked about this on my stream last week. I live stream reading sprints every Friday, and I mentioned that my birthday was coming up and how being in your 30s, it just feels way more chill. Like, of course I woke up today and was like, okay, it's my birthday, but like, I don't know, I think getting older, like the milestones aren't really there anymore. Like, obviously the 40s and 50s are, but it's just way chiller, and I love that so much. As somebody who is very anxious and also doesn't like a lot of attention drawn to me, I know it's very ironic that I'm a YouTuber, but I prefer my birthday being chill and just doing what I love, and I think that is the best way to celebrate. I am gonna go, and I'll see you later. Hello, I have done a horrible job updating this vlog. I'm so sorry. I just edited a little bit of this vlog today just to see what I had, and it is now Thursday. My birthday was on Monday. So let's talk. I honestly haven't read that much. I don't know why I always think that the week of my birthday I'm gonna read, because this is what happened last year, but I'm still really loving Icebreaker. It is just solidifying that this is my favorite book. I love the mental health rep, and I just love Mickey so much. I relate to him a whole lot, and I love him. And it's just fun to be back in this world with the characters. I've been having a lot of fun annotating this because I didn't get to last time. I read like the first part as an arc, and then the physical copy came in because I had pre-ordered it, and that all happened during that vlog. But I never got a chance to fully annotate it, and now that it's been a couple years and I know more about the draft, I have a different perspective on this. I have a lot of thoughts about the draft. Like, I am somebody that goes and celebrates the draft with my hockey friends, but the whole idea of the draft, a lot of people call it a boy auction, is unethical. And I always say it's so weird how like we pit 18-year-olds against each other. It's really weird, and that's what this book talks about. I love it because Mickey is getting slammed on social media, and Jason is also adding to that, and it is just so weird the way that people talk about athletes, and in my case hockey players, especially when they are going to be drafted. It's really weird. I talk about this all the time, how one of my favorite players, Nolan Patrick, he had a chronic migraines and he had a really awful collision and that ended his career. And when we had first drafted him, there was a lot of talk about his injuries and having chronic migraines due to concussions. And when he was with the Flyers, he had a whole year that he didn't play because his migraines were so bad, and the way that fans ridiculed him and called him a bust still is something that keeps me up at night and makes me so angry. I will go to bat for that man any day of the week because he was so unfairly treated because he has a disability. There is so much ableism in sports fandom in general, but when it comes to cases like this, oh my god, it makes me so angry. Honestly, I don't even think I've cracked 100 pages yet. I'm only 38 pages in, so I need to really continue reading this because tomorrow's Friday and this is going up Saturday, and this always happens to me. I need to be better about it, but it's okay. It was the week of my birthday and I can do whatever I want. I also have been doing a lot of Patreon content, so that has been a lot of my focus this week. I'll talk about that in a little bit, but this morning I started The Beauty That Remains. I don't know if I have the headspace for this because it is all about grief. It is following 3 teenagers who have all lost someone in their lives. Currently, we're following Autumn, I think her name is, and her friend recently passed away in a car accident, and the first scene talks about her attending the funeral and her listening back to her voicemails. And then we have another character who lost somebody, I believe, to suicide, and the last person lost her sister to cancer. This is a heavy book, but it's literally one of my favorite books. That's why I'm talking about it in this video. I only listened to 17 minutes, but it's a rough read. It's very hard because it's about grief, but I love it because it is about these 3 teens who have all been grieving somebody in their lives, and they come together through music, and I love that so much. So maybe I'll be able to read a little bit more of it, but like I said, I don't know if I'm in the headspace for it, but it sucks because I want to read it so bad. But I think I'm just going to finish out Icebreaker and end this vlog. So that is my reading update for now. I'll see you tomorrow. Hi, I'm a little over 50% into Icebreaker, and I figured that I would update you. I read so much of it today on stream. Every Friday I stream here on my channel from 10:30 to 3:30 p.m. Eastern, doing some cozy co-working and body doubling sprints that I use for productivity or reading. Today it was reading, and I read up to page 140 of Icebreaker, and I am just having a wonderful time. This is your sign to reread your favorite book because I am having a blast. The vibes are high and I am just having the time of my life. I'm so happy that I decided to do this, and the whole book is getting annotated. It's just gonna keep going from here. I am glad that I'm revisiting this, especially because when I first started reading this, I had no idea about the draft. Like, I knew a little bit about it, but I didn't know the extent of it. And I know I've already mentioned this, but this book really talks about just how much pressure the league and media and fans put on literal children, and it is very fucked up in my opinion. I'm just so grateful that this book exists and for Graziadei for even writing it, because it's very important to talk about how we need to decenter some of the feelings about the draft, because the whole point of this book is talking about the draft and how much pressure it can be, especially when it comes to mental health. And I love Mickey's journey of learning that he has depression and anxiety. And there's a emphasis on him saying, well, I'm rich and I'm good at hockey and I'm good looking and I'm white and I'm straight passing. He's bisexual along with Jason. There's so much queerness in this book. His sister Delilah, she has a partner, Jade. They're sapphic. His other sister, she is polyamorous and has 2 partners. It is just so fun to read again, and I am kind of reading it with fresh eyes because there's a lot of things that I forgot about. This book was published in 2022, so it's been a while. It's just really fun to reread this, and I'm having a wonderful time. I just love this book so much, especially because I talk about this all the time, but hockey romance is filled with Achillean romances where both protagonists and or love interests are gay. And that's perfectly fine, but there draws a line where a lot of women can fetishize those characters, and honestly that happens a lot in hockey fandom spaces as well. I always say that I just wish that there was more representation outside of just gay. Like, there are so many different aspects of the LGBTQIA plus umbrella that is not represented at all in hockey romance. So that's why I love Icebreaker. If you want more hockey recommendations, I actually did a whole video where I recommended diverse hockey romances and some books that are on my TBR, and just did a whole video where I recommended hockey books that I think you should pick up, so I'll link that up above. But I'm gonna finish this up and I'll see you in a bit. Honestly, probably tomorrow, even though that's the day this video is supposed to go out. You're probably seeing it on Saturday, but that's the plan, is I'm trying to push this out on Saturday, but it's Friday and I'm still reading it, so we'll see what happens. I just finished up Icebreaker about 10 minutes ago, and I already want to reread it. That solidifies that this is my favorite book. I just love the way that it talks about depression specifically. However, I do want to make a note about how this book could be triggering to people who have depression and might have been addicted to alcohol or maybe used alcohol as a vice, because that's what Mickey does here. There's a lot of underage drinking as this is set in college, but I just love Mickey's character. He is so relatable, and this is a book that I wish I had in college. It is still my favorite book. I just love Mickey so much. I relate to him on so many levels, and I would have loved to have this type of book when I was in college. It is so relatable. College is hard, and especially when you're in Mickey's situation where he has felt abandoned by his parents. He has lived in houses that weren't his own. His father was on the road and being an NHL superstar and neglected Mickey. His mom did as well. He just has a lot of pressure under him, and mixing that in with mental health where you just feel at your lowest point and you don't feel worthy of love and you just think that everybody hates you and they are not going to like some of the decisions that you make. That's why I love the character development in this book, because Mickey's dad realizes he fucked up and he really wants to try. And it just made me think about real life and how kids of NHL stars or any kid of a superstar athlete might feel. Obviously, this is fiction, but I wonder how much some of Mickey's experiences do portray real life. That's not something to speculate about, nor is it any of my business. I was just curious about it. I forgot how much I related to Mickey, and I could remember some parts, but it just felt like I was reading it for the first time again, and that is such a fun experience. But I just want to reread it again. That's exactly how I felt when I finished it the first time. Once I finished it, I was like, okay, again. Let's do it again. I would love to make some time in my life to reread this every year, so maybe I'll do this readathon again if everybody enjoyed it and wants to do it again, because I had a lot of fun with this. So those are all of my thoughts. That was a week in my life reading books for my birthday. Just a little bit of a disclaimer. Please, let's just be chill in the comments. If you would like to wish me a happy belated birthday, that's totally cool. But I don't want to hear anything about my age, because I know a lot of people will say, oh my god, you look so young for that. I didn't know that you were 31. Y'all, we're adults here. We don't need to be talking like that. So if you do comment something like that, your comment's gonna get deleted, because I want to set boundaries for myself and I don't like to hear that. Yes, I know that I look younger than my age, and it is my choice to tell you what my age is, and I would just want to have some respectful conversation. And that wraps up the vlog. Thanks for watching and clicking on this video. I really appreciate it. If you enjoyed it, give it a like and leave a comment, something respectful, or you can just leave a book emoji so that I know that you were here, and if that's just your way of saying hi. To wrap up my readathon, I'm hosting sprints on Patreon for free and paid members from 12:30 p.m. to 3:30 p.m. Eastern, 3 hours of sprints. Bring a book, bring something to work on, and we're going to be doing some body doubling and just chilling. So the link is always down below for that. I post every week on Patreon. You get so much on there, and if you want to support me as a creator, that is the best way to do so. That's how I fund my channel, and it helps me get by and just have some funding for all of the videos that I make. I post almost twice a week, and if you want to support me, Patreon is the best way. I actually recently added a tip jar feature. That is my lowest tier at $2.50. You get every benefit but the videos. I produce a video for my highest tier, the Bookish bundle. It's always a spoiler reading vlog. My lower tier at $5 is the Paperback Pal. They receive one video or live stream a month, so it rotates. Next month will be a live stream, but this month I tier ranked my 2014 reads, and it was really interesting. I put up a teaser for free members and a little teaser here on YouTube as a short, so I'll link that up above. Patreon is the best way to support me, free or paid. I would love any and all support, so thanks if you do. And of course, thank you to my top patrons for their continuous support. If you want to watch more, I'll link a video here and you can subscribe there.